Well, for more on the return of Thomas Pesquet, we can speak now to Dr. Andrew Winnard at the University of Northumbria in the United Kingdom. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Doctor. Now, you previously worked at the European Astronaut Centre in Germany, and you're an expert on some of the physical effects that space travel can have. Tell us, what are some of those effects on the human body?
Yeah, absolutely. So, French astronaut Thomas Pesquet landed back after 196 days on the International Space Station. So while we were in space, you had several effects due to being in weightless conditions. So for example, the bones, the muscles, and also your heart and lungs all decondition. So over just 1 month in space, you can lose 10% of your muscle strength. Your cardiovascular fitness decreases with another 10% decrease in aerobic capacity. And also you lose about 2.5% of your bone mineral density, so your bones get weaker and thinner, again, per month in space. So with Thomas being up there for 6 months, there's quite some need for some rehabilitation. In addition to that, more than half of astronauts experience low back pain, and there's about a 4 times increased risk of getting a spinal injury to the discs in between the spinal bones when they return back down here to Earth. So post-mission rehabilitation is really important. Thomas will be flying back to Cologne. Hopefully he'll reach Germany, Cologne, tomorrow afternoon. He'll be back at the European Astronaut Centre where he'll be doing a lot of his initial rehab. And there'll be about a 6-week period where he'll be going through several different kinds of exercise. So for example, he'll be doing some pool-based exercises in the swimming pool. The water's there to help him stand up, help him also with resistance, moving against the water to regain the muscle strength, regain his balance. And here at Northumbria University in Newcastle in the UK, we're doing research that's trying to actually increase the speed at which a lot of that rehab can take place, especially focusing on spinal rehab in people that have got deconditioning, such as astronauts. And we're doing that in collaboration with the European Space Agency. So for example, with the spinal... Sure.
I'll ask you, because I mean, Thomas Pesquet is a very sporty man. I interviewed him last year, and he's he's into his judo and everything. How long do you think it's going to be then before he's really back up on his feet, up and running, so to speak?
Well, I imagine if you see him getting to Cologne tomorrow, you'll probably see that he's already going to be walking. Well, he'll probably have quite a wide stance, and a lot of that, he'll probably feel like he's had a couple of drinks. That's probably how we would feel. And I know that's because he's sensing gravity for the first time, and the inner ear balance system, the vestibular system, is quite deconditioned from being in space. So he'll be quite wobbly, dizzy, uncoordinated, but he will be walking by tomorrow. Probably it'll be about 6 weeks of that pool, that water-based training, and also then moving on to doing resistance exercises with the physiotherapists in Cologne, before we see him actually be getting back to normal. One thing to look out for tomorrow, if you see him walking into the astronaut centre, is look for his spine, because you'll probably see that he doesn't stand quite upright. He'll probably have a bit of a forward lean, and that gives him that increased risk of getting an injury, alongside the fact that his balance and general muscle condition will be quite poor. But it's usually about a 6-week training period before he'll be reasonably back to normal. But it's the bone thinning that's probably going to be the most longest lasting condition, and we have several exercises that the astronauts do aboard the space station while they're living in space. They have a treadmill, they have a cycle machine, they have a resistance exercise device that all work in weightlessness to try and prevent these problems, and bones are one of the main ones that we focus on. So it's going to be more the muscles and the balance and the spinal problems that he'll be focusing on in the next 6 weeks with the physiotherapist.
Okay, so he has been doing some exercise there in space, but as you say, probably not enough for him to be completely mobile just yet. Another couple of days, it sounds like. Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Andrew Winnard at the University of Northumbria in the UK. Thank you very much again.